morning, campers. Not a bad view, huh? Not a bad view at all. That's where I camped last night, right there. Amazing sunset and a nice sunrise this morning. I slept so, not great. It's a little bit of a slope to the ground there. I had to rearrange my sleeping pad a couple times, but it's all right. It's about as good as I ever do. So today I do not know how far I'm going. The farthest I would go is the Priest shelter, and that is just about 20 miles, 19.8 I think. But I would have to go over two mountains. One, I forget what it's called, three something mountain, and then the Priest, which is another mountain. I heard the Priest is a tough one, so that may be a little aggressive today. But I have about 1.5 liters of water. Water sources are a little farther apart, a little less reliable here, so I have to really be careful on my water management. So I'll be watching that very closely. And basically I'm gonna hike for half the day. It's almost 8 o'clock at this point. A little bit later start than I had hoped. I wanted to be out by 7:30, but a guy was hiking when I was having breakfast, and so he stopped and we chatted for a bit, and I had to go dig a cat hole. So a couple things slowed me down there, but in any event, and it got light later than I expected. It wasn't light enough outside until about 6:15 for me to see what I was doing. In fact, I needed my headlamp to go get my Ursac because it was in the trees. It was a little dark in there, but so I may need to get up a little bit later so I can take advantage of the daylight. The days are getting shorter, as I said in yesterday's video. So I'm gonna try to make good time today, but not rush, and we'll see where I get to. If I can make it to the Priest shelter, great. 20 miles, going over two mountains. It's tough. Yesterday was tough. My feet really were hurting by the end of the day. My hips, having this extra weight. Of course, I have one less dinner, one less day's meals in my backpack. So I'm lighter by a good, 2.5 pounds than I was yesterday. But anyway, I'm supposed to get up into the upper 70s, 79 or something today. So we'll see how that goes, and I will check back once I know more, or I have a good view to show. Suddenly the trail has gotten flat and smooth. I kind of hiking. So 2 hours in, I just passed Reed's Gap, and I've gone 4.2 miles. So about 2.1 mile per hour average pace. That's decent. It's not great as far as getting to the Priest shelter at a reasonable time, especially since I have to climb the Priest later today, if I decide to go that far. But we'll see. This section of trail is not too bad, so I'll just keep plugging away, try to make good time. This snake just does not want to move. I'm standing right next to him. Let's see if there he goes. He's starting to go. He's just hanging out in the sun. You're having a good time, aren't you, dude? Just hanging out in the sun, getting all nice and warm. So I just took a break there at the Maupin Field shelter, and it's a decent shelter. Lots of great tent sites. I mean, you can see the open land here. There's spots right over there. There's spots down by the shelter. You could fit dozens of tents here, literally. So it'd be a great place for like a scouting group or summer camp. A bunch of kids to come and tent. But anyway, 6.2 miles to the Harpers Creek shelter. where I'm going to stop for my next break. I just came about 6 miles to get here, so 6.2, about the same distance roughly. It'd be good, perfect for another break. And then it's about 3 miles, less than 3 miles to the Thai River. And Guthook says that there's good tent sites on either side of the river, on the riverbanks. So I'm thinking I'm going to tent there. That'll make a 15-mile day. And that'll set me up good for climbing the Priest tomorrow. The Priest is a big climb. That's, you know, as far as Virginia goes, that's a big climb. It's a big, long, straight uphill, I think a 3,000-foot climb, I want to say. So I'd rather not do that at the end of the day when I'm already tired. You know, my top of my right foot's kind of sore. My shoulders and back are a little sore. I'm still carrying quite a bit of weight. So I'm entering Three Ridges Wilderness, the George Washington National Forest, as the sign indicates there. So, in any event, that's what's going on. I've seen a deer and a snake, and met a couple of nice ladies at that shelter, both in their 70s, and they're out hiking. Kind of day hiking, but they've hiked all over, they said. Oh, we've hiked all these trails around here, hundreds of miles. So that's great. I loved it. I love to see. It gives me hope that, you know, in 15 years or so, I'll be able to still be out here hiking, at least day hiking, not doing a long through hike or section hiking, hopefully. But we'll see. Right now, I gotta do another 6.2 miles. A lot of it's uphill. I gotta go over B Mountain. I gotta go over Three Ridges Mountain. And I gotta go over, there's a third one. Starts with a C, and I can't think of the name of it. But, so it's a lot up and down over the next 6.2 miles. So, got my work cut out for me, but compared to New Hampshire and Maine, this is relatively easy. So, I'm keeping things in perspective. Just plugging away, even at a moderate pace. I should get to the next shelter 3 o'clock, 3:30 at the latest, maybe even earlier. And then, like I said, it's another three miles to where it's supposed to be good tent sites. So I should be, hopefully if all goes well, I don't want to jinx myself, should be there by 6 or even 5 o'clock, but no later than 6. Just when you think the rocks were over, they're never over on the Appalachian Trail. That looks like a giant tombstone. Big flat rock. It's got to be 10, 11 feet high. It's even got a little base, like a real tombstone. That's pretty wild. Let me come over here. Yeah. Doesn't it look like a gigantic tombstone? So it's 3:15 and I'm just arriving at the Harper's Creek shelter. So I'm less than 3 miles from my intended camping spot for the night. You can see the shelter right there behind me. And I've got to cross Harper's Creek, which runs right here in front of the shelter. So I'm going to do that, cross it, come back, get some water, filter some water, drink, have a snack, sign the register, do all my usual stuff when I take a break. Then I've got like only 2.8 miles and it's mostly downhill. There's a small up and then it's all downhill. So I should get there, I'm hoping, you know, by 5:30, but we'll see. Okay, I made it to the Thai River. It's 5 after 5, so I got here about a half hour, 45 minutes sooner than I thought I would. It was easier hiking than I anticipated on the way down. The last 2 miles, not a lot of rocks or roots. It was a smooth dirt trail. So I just cleared a little area right there. You can see in the dirt, it's all, I kind of swept it with my foot, just kicked away all the debris, make sure there's no roots. There are two small roots. One I can keep outside the edge of the tent. The other one won't be a problem if it's inside the tent. It's so small and low to the ground. So anyway, I'm going to, oops, like a shard of glass there. That wouldn't be good. I'm going to set up camp. It's only 5 o'clock. It's awesome. I can be in bed by 7:30 at the latest. I could take my time. I could cool off. I could go down the river. You can probably hear it back there. That's the river through the trees. I don't know if you can see it. Right here. That's the river. I go down there, give myself a little sponge bath with my bandana. Wipe the sweat off my body so I don't have salt drying on my skin and irritating my skin. And have dinner and call it an early night and get a good night's rest because I got to climb the priest tomorrow. So anyway, glad I made it here in decent time. 15-mile day. That's 2 back-to-back 15-mile days, more than I was planning on this early. And I broke one of my poles, like literally the last quarter mile down here. I just got stuck between something, and I have terrible luck with poles. I should have brought an extra pole with me. I can use it, but it's shorter. It's like a good 10 inches shorter than the other pole. So I'm gonna have to get another pole. Anyway, that's it. I'm calling it a night. Calling it a day.